look angry when we're doing this.
It's the mouse.
He's angry.
He's angry.
Right? All right. Welcome to the April 11th Village of Shawnee Hills Council meeting. All that can, please stand and say the pledge of allegiance. Pledge of allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Gates. Here. Weiser.
Here.
Rosa.
Here.
Patty. Here. Spencer.
Here.
Here.
All right. Approval of the minutes from March 28th. Anything on page 1? I got one. Approval of the minutes from March 28th on the agenda. It says 128.
Very good.
All right, page 1. Page 2. Page 3. Page 4.
I have one under the pro tem report. On the second line, second sentence, it says, I had a bunch of things going on this, so there should be a word in there. This week, this month, something.
This week.
Sweet. All right, page 5. And page 6.
Hold on.
Okay.
Sorry. Also, in the committee reports, first paragraph, second line, second sentences, they are estimating that in the third, I think the word quarter needs to be inserted there.
Yeah.
And also in the next paragraph, second line, third sentence, I think the first word of the sentence should be they instead of their.
And I have something from the, under committee reports in the first paragraph on the third sentence. Through is spelled THRU. It should be more formal, through. OUG.
All right, page 6. All right, do I have a motion to approve the minutes from the 28th?
So
Second,
Gates.
yes.
Weiser.
yes.
Rosa.
Yes.
Patty. Abstain. Thatcher.
Yes.
Zimmerman.
Yes.
All right, approval of the agenda.
I make a motion that we add resolution 05-2022, and we change ordinance 10-2022 to an emergency.
Well, you can't do that on the agenda.
You can't change what it reads on it.
Right.
I just want to make a change to the agenda to make it an emergency, so when we get to it in legislation.
You have to actually amend ordinance 10-2022 when you're reading it to make an emergency.
And we won't do that.
But we had 05-2022, right?
Yes.
Brian?
Yes.
Yes.
Do I have a second?
Second,
05-2022.
Gates.
Yes.
Weiser.
yes.
Rosa.
Yes.
Patty.
Yes.
Thatcher.
Yes.
Zimmerman.
Yes.
All right, Brian?
Thank you, Mayor. I like the non-traditional spelling of through as THRU. I use that once in a
It's
while.
good for billboards, but we'll rough on
I
that.
have once in a while. Anyway. So I'm talking. Anyway, I actually had a much quieter 2 weeks on the legal side of things, which was very nice. Actually, Mark and I were working on a zoning matter where we thought we were going to have to start the next part of the process and issue citation, but the actual notice of violation letters working perfectly, where we actually send notice to a property owner and things get cleaned up and we don't have anything else to do. So I was actually kind of happy, which is maybe sad, but anyway, I was happy to see that actually was working. And we were able to get by without having to issue actual zoning citations, so that was good. Otherwise, just a couple weeks of general things here and there with Mark and us, so that's really all I have in my report tonight. Happy to answer any questions.
Anyone? All right, thank you very much, Brian.
Thank you.
Russ?
I'm also happy to say it's been a really good 2 weeks here. Not much going on. We are expecting Ron to come back for May's planning and zoning. They haven't submitted anything back to the board yet, but they contacted Mark and said that they will be submitting something soon. Shipper Day is coming back this year. We got it nailed down between May 9th and May 16th. So it'd be a great time for residents to look at their properties that are adjacent to the roadway, cut anything back, and maybe start a pile over neatly by the curb. We'll communicate out exactly what day he'll be here and when. It'll probably be over the course of a couple days. Landscaping, as you can see up front, it looks much better out there. Richard did a phenomenal job straightening those trees up, putting the stone in, planting some grass on the hill. And then traditionally we do mulch around the pump station. We did stone. It's more permanent. It's not replaced every year, so in the long run it saves us some money. Speaking of stone, the giant pile of stone on Osage will be gone hopefully tomorrow. We had an issue with the tractor broke, and then with the weather dipping down, that pile of stone was a solid piece of frozen stone and mud. So with it warming up, they should be able to move it tomorrow and get Osage opened again. I want to hit, everyone's probably already heard Volunteer Energy filed bankruptcy. They are ending all their contracts, which does affect our community. I don't know much about it, but I know Jay Sell from Aspen Energy has been in communication with Shirley in the village. They are working on a new contract for us. I think there's going to be some lapse in that, and we'll resort back to Columbia Gas's prices, but Aspen Energy hopes to have something soon. I've had a couple other companies reach out. I've invited them to the council meetings, and I don't think anyone can. So more to come on that when we have something solid from them. Spent some time working with Craig Baldridge. I had mentioned American Bloom, the Growing Vibrant Communities program. Craig I'm not going to steal any of his thunder. I'll let him hit all the bases. But you guys all should have gotten a packet of information and a survey, in the spirit of doing what we can do to make Shawnee Hills look a little bit nicer. I ask you nicely, please complete the survey, or at least most of the survey, and get it back. That way we can get it into them, and they can have their experts look at it and tell us where we need to start and what we need to do. Have that. Arbor Day celebration is this Saturday in the park at the Veterans Memorial. It'll be following the Easter egg hunt from the Civic. It starts at 11:30. We should have some little sapling trees to pass out for the kids. Mayor Matthews is going to plant a tree, say a few words, and get back to baseball. And the last thing I have 2 more things. The legislation tonight for the part-time position, I did send an email to Rob asking if maybe we can consider making that an emergency, looking at the path that's going to take. It'll be into June before we can even get someone out here to help Richard. We're planning on mulching before Memorial Day. So in order to do that, we have to move forward with this position. Hopefully I can have a candidate to you within 2 weeks and we can get that through at the following meeting. So I appreciate if you can consider doing that tonight. And then on the police side, I do have a memorandum of understanding. We discussed the e-citations, how the state's going away from handwritten tickets, and they're pushing us towards an e-citation model. So the only program that we can use to submit these citations is called OLIS, the Ohio Law Enforcement Information System. Through the state of Ohio, it's free, but they do require me to sign an MOU. After speaking with Brian, I would require a vote from you to allow me to sign that MOU. I think I sent it out earlier. If anyone has any questions, I answer them, but.
Just a general question, where does the data, is the data from the citations collected and what happens to it?
the state uses it for their mandatory reporting and the reports. I mean, they're not collecting any data that we're not already sharing or we're not already giving to the court or who reports it back to the state and federal government. And we collect a lot of data in-house and share it with our community. So there's no data that I think they're going to collect that isn't already being stored somewhere else or reported.
For Chipper Day, you know, we got some of those V signs in the back. Is there any way we could put a couple signs out in general areas?
Yep.
Just to let everybody kind of know.
I think we still have Chipper Day signs, so yes.
Okay, perfect, thank you.
Russ, I wanted to ask you, I think a month ago, you had said you guys were putting bids for paving. Do you know where we're at on that, for street paving? We have a couple of streets that have really bad.
I was hoping to have that to UST tonight. Chris had a delay in it, so it's on Chris's desk. I'm at his mercy to
So
get that back
hopefully
together.
soon, we would have, who we want to go with, and where we're going to do that.
We'll have to put it out for bid, so.
Right. I guess I thought that was, we already had, no, we haven't put it out for bid yet,
No, we're to the point where Chris and I went around, we identified everywhere that we would like to pave.
right?
There are some streets that need paved, but where construction is either imminent or pending, that we're not gonna touch. Number one, they're probably gonna be repaved anyways, and number two, we don't want damage to new streets. But there are some areas that need addressed immediately. So as soon as Chris gets that in, we'll get it to USD, even if we have to have a emergency meeting or.
And that would cover the potholes too, right? The paving and the pothole repairing too?
Yep.
Awesome.
We patched a lot of them. Some of the patches have come out already, so.
Back to the MOU, any questions on the MOU?
Oh, sorry, I jumped around.
All right, do we, a motion? All right, do we have a motion to allow Russ to?
So make a motion to allow to sign the MOU for the
Second,
citation.
Gates,
Yes,
Eisner,
Yes,
Rosa,
Yes.
Stanton.
Yes.
Patrick,
Yes.
Zimmerman.
Yes,
All right, that's it.
All right. All right, is one shining moment right here. Oh, thank you. First stool. Thank you very much for entertaining me this evening as we talk about growing vibrant communities and the American Bloom organization as a whole. This all started a few weeks ago when I was getting educated on a few things with the chief, and he and I had a conversation, lasted about an hour, and talking about some of the things that he was hoping to see get done. And there were flowers and beautification and things of that nature. And it dawned on me as we were talking, there's a program and an organization out there that does exactly what he was talking about doing. And I was aware of it because a very good friend of mine has been involved in it down in Logan, Ohio. And they are doing some tremendous things down in Logan that has really helped turn things in a very positive direction for them. That's helping tourism, helping get businesses back into the heart of their town. So I mentioned it to Russ and sent him a couple of links showing the websites for American Bloom and for their program called Growing Vibrant Communities. And the gist of it is, several years ago, there's a group of horticulture industry professionals that they wanted to develop an organization to connect people to the benefits of plants, trees, and flowers. But it quickly became obvious to them that the real community development went beyond horticulture, includes community vitality, heritage preservation, environmental efforts, and overall impressions, all quality of life issues as well as economic drivers for the community. I think I see some heads shaking here that these are all the kind of items that we want to facilitate and bring into Shawnee Hills as well. So the packet of information you have there, rather than doing a PowerPoint presentation, I just put it together here. You can look at it at your leisure afterwards. But who we are is Growing Vibrant Communities is a continuing community enhancement program from American Bloom that encourages volunteer community leadership in cooperation with municipal efforts in an ongoing commitment to the community vitality, beauty, environmental stewardship, as well as celebration of heritage. Why get involved? I guess the question to ask there is, do you believe that beautiful communities promote quality of life and economic vitality? Do you believe that volunteer leadership and involvement can affect change in our community? Are you proud of the unique heritage and character of Shawnee Hills? I think we all would agree with those. And so the getting started on that part is in the Growing Vibrant Communities, which is a sub-program within the American Bloom organization. It starts with an assessment. And you all have a packet. It's 13 pages long. And I all want you to love me when you're sitting down to read it and go through it. But what they've done is they've identified a number of areas, the areas of impact: community vitality, flowers, landscape area, urban forestry, Tree City, environmental efforts, heritage celebration, and overall impression. These are the areas that the Growing Vibrant Community surveys dive into. And when you start going through this survey, you'll see that there are 6 different levels that you will grade how we are doing currently. If there isn't something that you can do or that you have an idea for, then there's an opportunity for you to say, basically, not applicable. But there's a place to also at the back or on a separate page, we're encouraging you to make notes, add comments, anything that you have seen we tried before and it didn't work, or it tried and you thought it should have worked, or anything, your own ideas of how could we do things better? What if we did something, what would it be, kind of thing. So what I would like to encourage you all to do is take an evening. It took me about 30 minutes to go through and do my survey. And most of mine was non-applicable because I don't know as much about these topics as what you will as being people in the government itself. So take a look at it, fill it out. I've asked for your name at the top of the survey just so that I can know who to reach back to further understand your comments. I'm asking that they be completed and returned at the next council meeting and put them in a signed envelope if you prefer. It doesn't matter to me, but I would like to take all of the surveys and I will compile them and get those then uploaded to their system. And that's where everything then the ball starts rolling. They will have a person assigned to us that will take what we've put together and help us identify, here's the things I think you should start with. Here's the things that we need to work on secondary and down the road some. But then here are the resources. Because they've been doing this since 2011 or 2000, let's say that was 2000 and, or no, 2001. Thank you. They've got a wealth of information, programs they've done, other cities that have done this already. I would like to draw your attention to the survey. On the first page, there's a score section right at the bottom of that first page. As I was doing mine, they've got it listed as launching, approaching, achieved, and excelling. And I'm a little OCD or whatever because that didn't quite sit with what I was thinking. And then as I read into the instructions, it says, okay, not in place, under consideration, partially realized. So as you're going through some of this stuff, remember that the instructions on what some of these mean are spelled out on the front edge. I needed it, and I just wanted to help share that with you. So ongoing, the next steps would be, we'll compile from council and committee members. The email is going out tomorrow to all the committee members. So we decided we were going to start with village folks that are either in council or in the committees. Russ would like to do a town hall meeting in mid-May, and that one will be community focused. The thinking is we'll take the information that we get back from the stakeholders, the village stakeholders, identify some of the things that will help us then improve our conversation at the town hall. Ultimately, what we're trying to do is develop volunteer groups to help us in each one of these areas, especially the ones that are deemed to be, let's get them started. So garden club, tree, Main Street, whatever, we don't know yet, but we want to start embracing the community and get people to help do this. Next time he's got to put some mulch down, maybe we can get a group of scouts, honor society students, somebody out there that is looking to help do things in our community. And this should be the vehicle that would let us help pull a number of those items together. So, questions? What can I answer for you?
Are there costs involved other than, obviously, if you're making improvements, you have to purchase whatever materials and stuff. Are there costs to this organization?
The Growing Vibrant Communities was a $250 membership fee, and that's been done. So that's what got us started, so we can get into the website. You've got links to the website, so you can go in and take a look at it and see what they have to say. But that's the cost. My hope is that we'll be able to get a garden society started that includes representation from the 2 garden centers we have in town. And we can get some synergy going in that area. I mentioned to Russ as we came in this morning, one of my pipes would be, wouldn't it be neat if we could get a plot of land that has some examples of what a good garden or flower garden would look like. You got a couple of companies that are kind of vested in that, and maybe we can get some collaboration going with that.
And Kathy, I'll add on to that. So a lot of the projects, if we do identify projects to be done, they would run through whatever volunteers don't handle or get donated or do something like that. It would be village backed. We're not bound to do these things, and as finances allow, but some of it would be village backed.
Anyone else?
How about community involvement? At what level in this process will we kind of ask for volunteers within the community?
Starting at the town hall meeting, is my plan. I envision, I report directly to Russ. I envision a few committees reporting up and through the process. Ideally, I see this as being a committee chairs and myself and the advisor from AIB, talking things through, sharing them up and on to you. Hopefully some of you may be interested in getting involved on some of these as well, even if it might just be something about I'm going to get my hands dirty one weekend. Okay, that works too. But all starting in mid-May.
And to clarify, the committee, the same as the civic, the chamber, that they're private citizen groups that just have someone, a liaison that's going to report back to the village. And Craig's going to do that.
And they're on my list of people to talk to before we get to the town hall meeting too.
Anyone else? All right, Craig, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Communications, like Brian and Russ have had a slow 2 weeks. So I really have nothing new to report.
just monitor emails. I'm sure Russ monitored the emails from Equity to Chris, and it's just kind of business as usual, so. Rob, do you have anything?
No,
So slow for Rob, too.
very slow.
All right. Any committee reports? All right, slow for you all. Legislative actions. All right, so we'll jump right into this first one. This is the second reading, ordinance 10-2022, an ordinance creating and establishing the part-time position of seasonal maintenance worker. All right, did anybody have any questions on Russ's timeline?
No.
Do I have a motion to suspend with the? Motion?
Is this the one you need to amend?
Yeah, we need to
Yeah.
amend to make an emergency.
Yes. So does somebody need to make that motion?
Somebody should make a motion to amend ordinance 10-2022 and declare them, so it becomes an emergency, so it's written as an emergency.
Can I just say what he said? What he said, I put that out there.
Second.
Kate,
Yes.
Isaac,
Yes,
Rosa,
Yes.
Mattson.
Yes.
Spencer,
Yes.
Zimmerman.
Yes,
So do I have a motion to suspend with the the third reading, and declare ordinance 10-2022 an emergency?
Second.
Kate,
Yes.
Isaac,
yes,
Rosa,
Yes.
Mattson.
Yes.
Spencer,
Yes.
Zimmerman.
yes,
Can I pass this as an emergency? No, we have to pass it? All right, do I have a motion to adopt ordinance 10-2022 as an emergency?
so moved.
second,
Kate,
Yes.
Isaac,
Yes,
Rosa,
Yes.
Mattson.
Yes.
Spencer,
Yes.
Zimmerman.
yes,
All right. Another emergency, first reading, resolution 04-2022. A resolution to hire Holly Wise as a part-time public information officer for the village of Shawnee Hills, Ohio, and declare an emergency. Do I have a motion to suspend with the, well, actually, this first, anybody, any questions?
I just wondered how many applicants we had.
Both
Really overwhelming response.
Right, both residents, I met with Holly, she seemed like a great fit.
All right, do I have a motion to suspend with the second and third reading and declare resolution 04-2022 pass? What do I say here? Yeah.
Aren't you you didn't suspend the rules yet, did you?
No, they haven't.
Okay, so you have a motion to declare resolution on 4/2020 an emergency. It's suspend, to waive the second, third
Suspend.
readings and declare resolution on 4/2020 as an emergency.
Yeah, so that's what I said. All right, do I have a motion to suspend with the second and third and declare resolution 04-2022 an emergency?
So moved.
Second.
Kate,
Yes.
Isaac,
yes,
Rosa, Mattson.
Yes.
Spencer,
Yes.
Zimmerman.
yes,
All right, do I have a motion to adopt resolution 04-2022?
So moved.
second,
Kate,
Yes.
Isaac,
yes,
Rosa,
Yes.
Mattson.
Yes.
Spencer,
Yes.
Zimmerman.
yes,
This is a first reading ordinance 11-2022, an ordinance to amend the credit card policy of the village of Shawnee Hills. This is just kind of cleaning things up a little. Approval of the bills in the amount of $41,825. Oh, my bad, I'm sorry, I knew that. All right, resolution approving participation in the One Ohio Region 18 governance structure under the One Ohio Memorandum of Understanding and declare an emergency. Did everybody read through this? This is housekeeping. Based on the All right, do I have a motion to suspend with the second and third reading and declare resolution 05-2022 an emergency?
second,
Kate,
Yes.
Isaac,
yes,
Rosa.
Yes.
Mattson. Yes. Spencer,
Yes.
Zimmerman.
yes,
Motion to adopt resolution 05-2022.
so moved,
second,
Kate,
Yes.
Isaac,
yes,
Rosa,
Yes.
Mattson.
Yes.
Spencer,
Yes.
Zimmerman.
yes,
All right, approval of the bills in the amount of $41,825.19.
After going through the bills, there was one that was omitted, and it was for $56.43, so the new total is $41,881.62.
Do I have a motion to pay the bills in the amount of $41,881.62?
So moved.
Second,
Gates,
yes.
Isaac,
Yes.
DeRosa.
Yep.
Bentley.
Yes.
Batchor.
Yes.
Zimmerman.
Yes.
All right, Shirley, treasurer's report.
General fund, $284,338. Street fund, $420,038.12. State highway, $25,434.27. Continuing professional training, $2,535.48. Drug law enforcement, $534.41. Indigent drivers, $385.84. Law enforcement trust, $12,268.80. American Rescue Plan, $20,298.75. Enforcement education, $1,245.85. Fire fund, $155,880.76. TIP, $82,483.07. TIP 2, $27,612.44. Police District Fund, $114,145.01. Veterans Memorial, $248.97. Sewer operating, $54,630.53. Sewer replacement, $13,000 to $11.08. Storm sewer, $14,149.75, and debt service, $111,571.90, for a total of $1,341,575.49.
All right, do I have a motion to adopt the treasurer's report as written?
So moved.
Second.
Gates,
Yes.
Isaac,
Yes.
DeRosa.
Yes.
Bentley.
Yes.
Batchor.
Yes.
Zimmerman.
Yes.
All right, anybody with any miscellaneous business? All right, do I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second,
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?